Okay, here we are. I'm Ginger,
And I'm Brooke.
and we're still here. This week was heavier than usual. We didn't record on our regular day, but we're still here, even if the week was hard. All right, so this week felt what? Like this week felt blank.
Oh gosh. This week felt, I don't know. I think I'm torn because I want to say that I feel like with this week I feel like a little bit like I was drowning a little bit. But then I also don't think that that's necessarily true. I think I felt like the bottom kind of like fall out beneath me. But I am going to say that I feel like I had people there to catch me, which is a new feeling for me. I think between you and Justin, like it's a new feeling for me. I texted you on a rough day that I need help, which is not a normal thing for me to say.
Which is like red light alarms going off because I've never in the history of our friendship received a text like that.
Yeah. But I think it was the first time that I realized like that my life feels in this moment, it felt like it was falling apart and that I didn't really know what to do or how to handle it or how to move forward. And I think for the first time, like I felt like, oh, but it's gonna be okay. I had people there to support me and to help me, to sit with me, to let me cry, like all of the things. So even though it felt like the floor fell out beneath me, like there was somebody there like waiting, more than one person, which was a really nice change for me. It's a very strange feeling, but really good.
Yeah, it was a very, I don't know how to say, like a very eye-opening moment for me in that I feel like I keep thinking that this is like a theme that we keep like beating to death, that our relationship or our friendship has gotten to this like weird level to where it's just exceeded expectations or something like that. But I've never received a text like that from you. I've never received I have no details, but I need help. And I'm also not going to give you details. And I like need to like go like put into action. Like, okay, like I'm going to get the kids, like I'm doing, and that's no big deal. But I'm also like, what is going on? And you're like, I can't tell you. And I mean, I'm going to tell you, I just have to tell you in person. And so then we know each other's minds that like, my mind is like out of control right now of like what's happening. And that it's worse than what my mind is saying. Mm-hmm. And so, I have to, you're just going to have to wait. And it's like sitting in car line to pick up kids and not knowing what is on the other end is like nothing we've ever like dealt with together, but also super hard. Like, but then getting through it, I guess. I mean, like, was way more than I would have ever thought that it was. And I don't know. It was like a moment in time that we got through, right? I mean, we're still figuring it out, but it was really hard. I feel like I'm talking in circles and I didn't really say anything.
Well, but I think it is true to kind of say that number one, I think me knowing that sending you a text that says, I need help. I knew that because my first thought was to be like, 911, I need help. And then I thought, oh gosh, that's for sure going to send you spiraling in a different sort of way because that's not actually what's happening. And so it was really just one of those things where it was like, but I also know that if I give you any details, you are 100% going to respond not too far off from like how I responded to the situation, which I do love knowing that because it's about my kids, right? And so like I know that the situation that I'm facing with my child is also going to heavily affect your emotions because you love them just as much as I do, like, or close, like
right.
close enough, right?
Right.
But I mean, that's always a hard decision, right? Where it's like, how much information do I give? And when do I give it? Because I don't want to create an emergency situation. But this, and it wasn't a text kind of situation, right? Like we both,
right.
Whenever I told you, you were like, I mean, good call.
Yeah. I had no idea that, I mean, what I thought was happening was horrible and worse than I could have ever imagined. And what actually was happening was so much worse. And so, I mean, it was just like, it was a big week. And I want to recognize this week that I thought there's no way that we're going to do this podcast. Like, we're just going to skip this week. We're just like not going to get through it. And we are doing it 5 days later than we normally do because like, I don't know. It was just, but I also want, you know, and I said this yesterday, like I really wanted to put this down. So 5 years from now, like we know in this moment, like this is the moment that this happened and we're gonna record it, right? Like if this is our journal, like this is where we need to put this and know how we feel and know that like I'm on the verge of tears right now because like
so am I.
It's like such a big deal and I want to record this moment. Like I want this to be the moment that we can look back on and say like we got through it and we're still currently getting through it. And so, I mean, like, I'm always going to remember that day and I'm always going to remember like the moment in time that happened. And so we can look back and like, this is what we felt and this is who we were and, you know, and like this moment in time. But I also think that it was like a big moment. I mean, for me, it was a big moment for you and Justin that he was there and he didn't run away. You know, I mean, like it was hard and I didn't mean to cry and I didn't mean to like,
I think I was already on the verge of tears anyways, just because it was right. Like it was a really hard thing to kind of understand and process. And more than that, I think it's past just it being hard is that it's, you know, it's scary stuff.
Right.
And I remember like, you know, and especially with you when you showed up to the house and I stepped out into the garage to kind of tell you what was going on. And I'd know that I fell apart because I needed to kind of fall apart in that moment. And just kind of saying over and over again, like, I'm just scared.
Yeah.
I'm so scared. And, you know, I mean, like it's hard to put into words, right? Like the emotions that you feel in that kind of a situation.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, like this is what the week has been.
Yeah.
We are like recording later. I mean, there's so many different things, but it's just like, but it is what happened. Like it is this point in time and it is still emotional for me. I know it's still emotional for you. Like it sucks, but like this is life.
Right. And this is what, I mean, like how many times are we going to say like, we don't have it together, but we also like don't have the answers and hard things happen. And, you know, nobody outside of our like really tight circle knows or will ever know these things. And so, I don't know. I think it's just a big moment in time that I want to record like how we feel and what this moment felt like, that we're like not even talking about it and having a hard time like getting through moments where it's just like sitting in our brain like at the front. So the rest of these questions are like very awful for this moment, but so it's like, how does this stuff like show up in our bodies, right? Like what does a tough week look like in real life? And I feel like a lot of it is just like breathing in and out, right? Like, and depending on each other and doing the things. You're like covered up on my screen so I can't see your face, and so it's helping me a lot.
That's good.
Because I can't imagine like what it looks like. Not that your face looks bad, but
100%. That's why you said physically. How does this take control on you?
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
the
like,
breakout right here. It's the extra gray hairs that I colored last night.
yeah, it's really hard, right? And I feel like it's also hard when you show up in your everyday and nobody knows what's happening. And how many times have you said this week, like, nobody knows what's going on in other people's lives? And like, when our kids go to school and somebody's being mean to them and they just don't know like what's happening, and it's, Henry, also today's Henry's birthday.
It is Henry's birthday.
Henry's 11 today.
It's such a happy day.
But it's, he's 11, like he's only 11, but I had the conversation with him. I was like, you have to be gentle with people. Like, you have to, in this specific situation, it's like, I know that he's friends with, your kids, and I'm not going to tell Henry to like be careful with your kids every single month, because then they're not going to have a true friendship, right? If he's always like watching what he says and what, like, I want Henry to be who he is and be who he is to his friends. But there's also lots of moments, and like, we've had lots of friends. I mean, we have another friend whose kid has a very, goes through a lot of things. And I always make sure that I tell my kids that, your friend, this person, this hard thing is happening, or, they've had a death in their family. And it's not like, don't treat them any differently than you normally would. Just like, be a little gentle with your words. They all give each other a hard time, just like we give each other a hard time. But I mean, like, sometimes it hits differently when your emotions are raw in that moment. And so I like to tell my kids that. I like to give them that, that kind of push that, like, they're going through something really hard right now. And my kids are so empathetic. Like, they have so much empathy for other kids. Like, when I told Harrison what's going on, he like put his arm around me and he was like, it's going to be okay. Like, he's very concerned about me. And like, and then, Henry was like very upset and, just trying to like, I think Henry is pretty hard on himself. And so he hoped, he's like racking his brain of like, is there anything that I've done, or, and so but I mean, like, that's not a thing where, like, he just, both my kids are very empathetic of their friends, and I really appreciate that about them. I feel like we need to move on.
I feel like that too.
Okay. So
I don't want to keep living in that moment. So,
right. So, all my questions are like, let's see, I got
hard.
Yeah. Well, it's like, what helped even a little? I think our friendship helped. I mean, this isn't about me in any way, shape, or form, but I think like me trusting you in that you can text those words, like, I need help. And then I just like, I know that you've never texted that to me before. It's always been like, hey, can you do this thing? Like, I'm having something. Can you do this? Or I don't need anything right now. Like, you're very much that. You're very much I'm going through something hard and I'm going to like fall inside. Like, I'm going to like pull in.
I'll let you know in a couple days.
Yeah.
Is what I usually do.
Right. Like, you usually like, I got to figure this out. And then I'll ask not for help, but I'll just, let you in a few days. And it was just like, in a moment, it was like, I'd never receive that anymore. I gotta move past this. So
it's been such a short episode today.
I know, because we're not even 15 minutes in. So how do we decide what belongs here and what doesn't? What belongs like in this podcast? Because I feel like we're being very vague, but I also feel like I do want to record where we are and what we're doing and the things that we're, and I also think like, there was a lesson learned last week that I would like to address in some way that this, by putting this podcast out in the world. Honestly, my goal in this was like, this is our living journal that we're going to have that we can refer back to. But I also think that it is wildly important to me that I record these things. And I think if some random mom in Ohio listens to this and realizes that like her kids' moments are like fleeting, like, you should record this too. You should do this too. Like, that's kind of why I wanted to put it out, is that like, I think this is an important space to use. And if someone else could use this as inspiration, I thought it would be great. But I learned a lesson last week that nobody else wants to be on this podcast. You know what I mean? Like, me thinking that I could just like name somebody and it be okay, is not very thoughtful. And, so a lot of the like details and stuff we're leaving out. Right. And I think that's smart. I think it's respectful. I think it's thoughtful of other people, whether I agree with it or not, or I think like, you know, we should be able to, what I think are nice things and say nice things about somebody. People don't want to be in this, and that should be okay. And so like the things that we're choosing to share and the things that we're choosing not to, that if we are like vague and we know what we're talking about, that's all we really need. We don't need to like share details or name people, even if we think it's in a positive light. Yeah, that's my PSA for the day.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that point, because I know what you're talking about. I do agree. And I think like what you said, right? Like if another mom watched this, and I think even without having to go into the details of my situation specifically, you know, I think everybody can relate to the ups and, like any mom, right, can relate to the ups and downs, or dads for that matter, can relate to the ups and downs of parenting. And that like there's so many great moments, but then there's hard moments, and then there's harder, right? And
right.
that even though it's terrible, and I don't want to share the details because it is very, very personal, but that I think that people can see, like, if somebody did watch this, other than just our journal of like looking back, that it's normal to cry, it's normal to be sad. Right. It's okay to say I need help. It's okay to not want to share all of the details, because some things do need to remain private for my sake, for my kids' sake.
Right.
For my mental health, like I don't want it to be out there.
Right.
But I also know that in the sense of like the last several days have been some of the lowest. I also know that I've seen, even in that, I've seen such a huge change in my kid. And I love, like, as desperate as I felt on Monday, I feel so overjoyed watching how they react and respond to things today. And I think even for them, getting that out, what they're feeling and thinking, getting that out and making that public, and as desperate as that made me feel, putting that out there, like, also shows that, like, there's hope. Like, it gets better. There's so many things. And I don't want to lose that in this space, even without having to share all of the details, because I think anybody could put whatever situation they're going through in that.
Right.
I hope.
Yeah.
If that made any sense. It might not, because my brain is all over the place right now.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great lesson, right? But I also think that watching how people react and kind of how people surround you, and I think is important for your kids to see. And I think that's a big deal for your kids to know that there are so many people that are around and worried, and, you know, and that things affect everybody. yeah, I think that's a big deal. And I think, yeah, if anybody can learn from this, that it's okay to ask for help. You know, I think that's important. Okay. So I have some lighter things.
Oh, good.
You know, it's like, okay, Henry, it's this complete shift because I feel like this is what we need. It's something that I'm currently struggling with, which would have been really hard this week for me to get through if, you know.
I already know where we're going now.
If it didn't seem so.
This would be hard for you. This is hard for you.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, pales into comparison. But I also think like your struggles you shouldn't compete with each other on your struggles, right? Whatever's hard for you is hard. Even if someone else is going through something much harder. But so anyway, Henry, it's his birthday. He is having like a sleepover, and a party tonight. And I am the planner of all planners. I love hosting. I love having people at the house. I love all the things. And Henry thinks everything that I do is cringe. I mean, he thinks like the invitations that I make to just send a message to some parents that I need to know if you're coming. So like, I think I might need to like write it on a Post-it or something and say, can you let me know if your kid's coming? I think would be how Henry would want that to happen. But I need, you know, information. And so, I made invitations. He told me like, please don't make them cringe. And then the invitations he wanted me to make were like legit wedding invitations.
I was about to say, like, he picked the most beautiful invitation I've ever seen.
It's so weird.
And I love it. It's so Henry, though.
He doesn't want, like, it to have, like, spaceships on it or something. He's like, ugh, no, that's so gross. But then he picks out a legit wedding invitation. I mean, it has, like, all the border.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I think it had, like, a horse-drawn carriage at the bottom and like the whole thing, and it's like you're invited to Henry Womble's birthday, like, and then the date, it was ridiculous. I mean, complete, but that's what he wanted, right? And then now we're like down into the details for today, and it's, you know, he doesn't want to schedule. He's just, I just want my friends to come over. So then we go to like get plates and decorations or whatever today because he skipped school because it's his birthday, and I made that deal with him when he was like 6, and of course he like still remembers, and so he doesn't go to school on his birthday, and we just hang out. But I told him he had to hang out with me. Like, you have to hang out with me, no video games, no screens, you have to hang out with me. And then he's like on my phone the whole time, and I was like, hey man, we're supposed to hang out. He's like, we're in the car, what are we supposed to do? And I was like, I don't know, just like talk to me. He's like, what are we supposed to talk about? And I was like, man, this sucks. Like, I don't know, I'm not gonna like force you to have a conversation.
Never mind.
Yeah. So then we go to like pick out decorations and stuff, and he gets black plates, black napkins, and nothing else. Like, he doesn't want anything else. And also, like, I can't have a schedule. I can't, like, I'm going to order pizza and they're just going to eat pizza and then they're just going to hang out. And I'm like, okay, well, all right. Like, this is my like worst nightmare, right? I have a bunch of 10 and 11-year-old kids and there's no schedule.
There's
like,
no plan.
And so
just movies and pizza.
I know it's terrible. Like, how would that be okay? Anyway, so that's what we're doing. Also big news. I said Harrison could invite someone. So he invited his girlfriend. Yes. And then her mom texted me yesterday and was like, Harrison invited girl X over and she can come. And I was like, okay. And then I was like,
not girl X, girl A.
Girl A.
You can't do X.
Yeah. No, girl A. Yeah. Girl A came over.
She's the first.
There is no girl B. It's all girl A. Anyway, so she's coming over, and I was texting with her mom, and I told her mom, I was like, I mean, you could come over too. If like, you know, I would love to meet you. Like, and, she was like, sure, I'll come over for a bit. What time? And so I like stress texted you and I was like, please come over at 6:00. Can you please come over at 6:00? Because Harrison's girlfriend's mom's coming over and I don't want to embarrass myself.
Yes. I was about to ask if you were going to mention the fact that as soon as you got that you did immediately be like, I need you to come. You have to come an hour early because she's coming and I don't want to embarrass myself, which I was already planning on it anyways. I think I told you today that when I picked up Harrison from school yesterday, I had just him and Ruby and I was like, Harrison, I heard we're going to have a friend at the birthday party. And he's like, oh, yeah. I mean, he clearly was already so irritated. And I was like, look, I'm going to be there. Your mom, she needs somebody to like make faces at all night. I was like, so we're going to be making faces back and forth to each other. I was like, which you already know that's true, right? And he was like, yes, oh, I know. And I was like, you're going to keep her far away. We already know that. But, you know, we need to be able to like do that all night, like, and smile at each other. Yeah. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know. This
mom's going to change that a little bit.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm ever going to like actually meet her and say words to her. I've met her before, but they weren't dating. But so, yeah. So the mom was like, what time should we be there? And so I was like, I don't know. Anytime after 6. Like, I'm cool. I'm calm, cool, and collected. Like, it's great.
And on the outside.
Yeah. And, yeah. And so but I also told her, I was like, I know, well, she said she wasn't going to stay very long because she didn't want to embarrass her daughter. And I was like, I'm sure Harrison's going to keep, I know. I was like, what's that about? Like, why are we worried about embarrassing our kids?
Just come sit with us and we'll embarrass them all together.
Yeah. And I told her, I said, I think Harrison's going to keep her as far away from me as possible because embarrassing him is like my favorite pastime. So, but I also said as far away from me as possible, but in parentheses, I was like, but with the door open, like they're not. I also like, you know, you kind of want to have the conversation with the other parent of like, they're never going to be completely alone. Mm-hmm. I realize they're only 14. I'm not, you know, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but I mean, they've never been.
Well, and it is weird when your kid starts dating somebody that you have no idea who the other people are. And you're just like, I don't know what you think or how you feel, but.
Right. But I also want to like.
Here's my rules.
Right. At my house, this is what's going to happen. But also, I mean, she's a girl mom. I am not a girl mom, but I am also a very strict boy mom. Like, yes. I'm not a calm, cool, and collected boy mom. Right. No. I went to college in the 90s. I've like had some trauma, right? Like we've already talked about, but I'm just like, he will be a complete gentleman. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know.
He will.
Like, how do you have that conversation? Like, I'm telling you, your daughter is safe at my house. I promise. Like, or my son will be, you know, duct taped to his room until he's 35.
I don't know how you do that without visiting all your trauma,
right? Or scaring her off of like, oh gosh, I don't want my daughter over there. Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm like good hearted. Like I'm telling you, it's just
I'm totally relaxed. It's totally fine.
It's totally fine.
I just have all these rules. And if nobody follows the rules, I'm going to fall apart.
Right. 100%.
Which is why everybody follows the rules though. Like that's not going to be a problem with your boys. I don't think.
Right. No, for sure. But it's like, I'm not one of those cool moms where like your girlfriend can spend the night. Like that's not a thing. I mean, I'm okay with co-ed sleepovers when they're in kindergarten. But not now, you know, like even tonight, like, no, that almost happened though. Like Henry's 11 now. Now he can't. So, but before the kids like passed. Screw it up, they missed their chance. Yeah. So anyway, that's what Henry's birthday is today. He's it's gonna be a good day. I know he's getting so tall. It's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. His friends that I don't know very well are gonna be good. I hope. And so it'll be good.
It's going to be the friends that you do know you're going to be like, what is happening?
Yeah, they'll be
please
fine.
Stop.
At least I can
Maybe.
parent them. You know, it's the other kids.
That's
So
true.
you don't know the kids, you don't know the parents, and I don't know if I can parent you. Like, or your parents going to get pissed if I like come down on you but the majority of the kids are parents that I know. And so I'm like, I can parent you. Like, I can tell you can't have 4 Cokes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but the other ones, I don't know if.
I mean, you can easily lay into Virginia. So, but she's not spending the night. So she'll be
right
in and out. That's
but I'm
not
hoping
what I meant
like,
to say.
but I'm hoping by the time Virginia and Charlie and all the
girls are like done,
that everybody's like ready to go to sleep, or at least stay in one room and not run through my house. Anyway, okay.
Maybe.
Let's see. Even in this hard week, what was good? Like, what's a small moment that cut through the noise?
Do you have something for this?
I do, but I don't think you want me to say it.
Is it my thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't say that.
Nobody's going to listen to this.
Don't say it yet. You know, man, I'm going to probably get super emotional again. I already am.
We're supposed to sit in the quiet.
I know. Okay. I think when you go through something really hard with a kid, and like your kid is like a part of you, right? Like they're a whole part of you. And you get to see, like, as a parent, you get to see all the aspects, all the sides of them, like the good and the bad. And I think watching my child go through a really hard season, I've seen how it's changed personalities. It's made things really difficult. And I think seeing them get that out, and I think it did actually take like a huge weight off their chest to be able to say these things out loud and not make it a part of the conversation. Oh gosh, this is the hard part, is that I love seeing like a big part of their personality come back.
Right.
And like the freedom, I think, in getting that out, they just seem lighter and happier and all of the things. And I mean, as much as the week just destroyed me, it's also been like so incredible to like see that side that I know is there. I've always known it's there, but it's so great as a mom to like see that light kind of come back.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't hit me till just then. Yeah. I mean, I said it at lunch today that like usually the really hard things, like hard conversations or hard moments or hard days, usually on the other side, like, I wouldn't say make it all worth it because I'd wish it never happened, but like make the hard things, there's so much good that comes out of it, right? And usually when you do like have the hard conversation or something bad happens, there's usually like this whole other side of it, on the complete other side, that you're closer to people or you're closer to your kids, or your kid knows now, like they know that they can go through those things and come out on the other side and still be okay. And then return to themselves, right? Like return to who they were, and they're not forever changed, and people don't see them in a different way. Like they're still the same person. And so it's like a good lesson.
Mm-hmm.
That was the next question. What does a week like this teach us? But I mean, like, I think that's it, right? Like the hard things suck. Like they suck so bad, and you don't wish them on anybody, but also it brings people closer together. I mean, I think your kids know that. I mean, at least one of them knows, like I feel so much closer, and that they know that, you know, like I was there the next day, and I just feel a little bit closer. That I'm in their tiny little circle, you know, like, and I think that they know that. Mm-hmm. And also, as hard as it was, like that everybody's like rooting for them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, this sucks. Like this is a lot.
But this is, you know, I mean, this is the point of it, right?
Right. This is what it is.
To capture like the high
the good
points and the
right.
low points. And this week was a pretty low point.
Right. So what stayed steady this week? What didn't fall apart?
I think for me, what felt steady this week was my support system. I think like what I said earlier, right? Like when the bottom falls out and then there's somebody there to catch you. And I think, I think I told you at lunch today, right? Like that I'm not used to that. I'm not used to having somebody that I can sit down and talk to. And so I think, being able to talk to you and have that help. Justin, we had to go to a school thing that same night. And just watching how he like helped and like took care of me and tended to me in that situation was not anything that I'm used to. You know, I think for me, I had a rough week even outside of that, and like I've had some issues with my mom, and like to try to talk to her. And I think in sharing that with her, the hard part that she and I were going through, and then like that just kind of, we talked it out, and then it fades to the background because there's family things and we love each other. We want to take care of each other. And my brother kind of did the same thing, and his girls. And I think it's just been so incredible to see like the support system that like no matter what is going on in our lives, like everybody does kind of rally together. And it feels like a different thing for me. Like I'm not, like you said, right? I'm not used to asking for help. And I think especially in this kind of a situation where I can't do it alone. Like I couldn't, like there was no way. And so, I think that was like, having my support system show up was huge.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think like what didn't fall apart was, everybody was there. Right. And we have a very small circle, you know what I mean? And it's like, but John was upset. Like, I think it all hit us like all really hard. And I think the people that mattered like really internalized like what was happening. And I thought that was really, I don't want to say cool, but it was really like eye-opening that everybody kind of took responsibility in what was happening. And like all came together and for each other, I mean, like, I know that this was hardest on you, but like, everybody and my family and your family and Justin and, I mean, I just think like everybody took it so personally.
Even our dad that we share now.
Yeah, my dad was even like, no, I mean, like, everybody took it so personally. Like, I feel like we're so much a family that sticks together and stands by. And I mean, it's just, I feel like everybody felt a little like a stab in the heart over it. And
yeah.
And so I don't know. I feel like I also feel like in your situation that you say you haven't had this, and I think it will help you be like brave to take on things that you otherwise wouldn't be as, I always say, like, I know that I have a strong foundation, or I have people that like support me and things. And so I'm okay with like taking chances, and because I always have somebody behind my back. And so I don't know. I hope that for you. Like, I hope you take chances and you, aren't so careful because, like, you can depend on people when it falls apart. Not that it would, but I'm saying, like, if like,
well, life does fall apart, right? I mean,
I know
that is part of life, but
I hope that for you. Like, I hope you see, because I've said that all the time. I'm like, worst case scenario, like, go ahead and jump and do the thing, because worst case scenario, we're just back where we were before. And so I just like hope that this, like, gives you more courage, that, like, there's so many people behind you, so many people, like, two. I mean, we're here for you. And so anyway, that's what I hope you got a little bit of that out of this. Like, I skipped through a lot of questions, so that's all of our questions.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I mean, it's been a weird week.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, it's been off. And I think I'm really glad that we still recorded.
Yeah.
Even though it's a few days late. I'm glad that we did it, because I don't want to not remember this
right.
moment. Like, I don't want to forget the desperation that I felt, and that I feel like even talking to my kids, and I kept telling them, I'm like, I can't, if something happens, like, I can't survive. Right. And so I don't want to forget the feeling of that. But man, I also, like I said, I don't want to forget the turnaround. I don't want to forget the sitting in my room on my bed with my kids, and they're all giggling and laughing. I don't want to discount even taking to school this morning and hearing, like, I'm so happy.
Right.
Even though it's hard and it's emotional, like, these are the raw feelings of life and of parenting. And, like, I think it's always that thing, right, where you, like, see that, like, parenting is like somebody else walking around with your whole heart. And because that is what it is. And I don't want to hide the fact that, like, normally I'm so happy and I'm so beyond proud of all of my kids, and I am all the time. But then also like having to realize, like, you know, life is hard and it's been hard, and maybe they need more than what I've been able to provide to help them process. And I don't think anything's wrong with that. But there's just so many feelings where it's like, I don't want to forget the low. I mean, I think at one point in the garage, whenever I was telling you, like, I think you were holding me up because like my whole body just was going down. But in the same week, right, like, I'm laughing and I'm giggling and they're telling me how much they love me. And like, it's just the best feeling. And it is a part of life. And I love the support system. But like, sometimes it just sucks. So, I mean, I am glad that we still recorded because I don't want to forget this.
Right. I don't have anything else to say. No, I think it's important. I think it's important that we talk about the good, fun times, but also like we don't skip the weeks that suck. And so, I'm glad we did it. But I think this is good. Like, I think we've accomplished the thing. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to solve anything today. So,
I think this is enough because now we have to shift focus and we're totally going to celebrate Henry's birthday because he's
right.
worth it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big day. Yeah. So I think that's good. We're still here.
We're still here.
Yep. All right. Thanks. I think I turned it off.
I think it's still recording.